Welcome to this Scan 247 broker instructional video. In this video, we're going to walk through the process of how a bond is requested, created, signed, sealed, and issued, and then attached to an online submission through the Scan 247 online bidding system. The first step in the bonding process is for the person requesting a bond to fill out the bond application form. Within the Submission Manager, we have an application form where they're able to come in and fill out all of the standard information that is required for a bond to be generated. We have standard fields like closing date and time, who they're bidding to, and what the bid bond amount is. All of the fields you see on this page that are highlighted in yellow are mandatory, and these ones do need to be filled out by the person requesting the bond prior to them sending the application form to their broker. All of the additional fields that you see in white are optional fields that they're able to fill out if they have information for them or if they feel that it will be important to generating the bond. Once they've gone through the process of filling out all of the fields that are mandatory and any additional fields that they would like to, they'll go to the bottom of the page where they have the ability to determine who their broker will be. The email field at the bottom allows them to put the email address of their broker or their risk management rep. With the contact information in that field, they're then able to determine who is going to be signing this bond on behalf of their company. If they have signing authority in the company, they're able to check the first box and say that they're going to be signing the bond once it's been issued. If they're not the signing authority, they'll then choose the second option and put the email address of the signatory for their firm in the field at the very bottom of the page. Once they submit this application, the email will then go to the broker with a request for a bond to be generated and issued, and an email will also go to the signatory letting them know that a bond has been requested on their behalf, and once it's been signed, sealed, and issued by the broker, they will receive another email asking them to put their own digital signature onto that document as the signatory for that firm. So with all of the fields filled out on this form, we will click the Submit Application button, and the contractor then receives confirmation that an email has been sent to the broker, and they will now be able to just wait until the broker has issued their bond when they will receive another email notifying them. So if we take a look at the email, we can see here we have a bond request. The email has brief information about the actual opportunity that the bond is being requested for. And then we have one link that will bring the broker directly into the bonding system where they'll be able to generate the bond and issue it to the contractor. And we have a second link which will provide you with any help information that you're looking for. The help guide goes through all of the steps that we're going to be walking through in this video in step-by-step image instructions. If we click the first link, that will bring you directly into the bonding system. The first step is to go through signature verification, and the account that we're using for this video is already verified, so we'll take a look at the help information for what this process could look like for you. The first time that anybody comes into the bonding system, they will need to go through the signature verification process. This is a three-step process that confirms the identity of every broker who comes in and needs to issue bonds. It is a subscription-based service, so you will first choose whether you would like your signature verified for 2 months for $40 or for 1 year for $150. Once you've chosen the duration that you would like to use, then you have all of your contact information listed below. This information is what will determine the signature that actually goes on to the bonds that you will be generating. You will put your company name and your first and last name, and then the email and the phone number are important that these belong to you and that you have immediate access to them. Once you submit this form and pay for the subscription, we will be sending verification codes to both the email address and the phone number that you've provided here that you will then need to provide back to the system in order to confirm that they do actually belong to you. If you have a mobile number or a direct line, we recommend that you put that into the phone number field. And if your office number rings through the whole office, or perhaps you have a receptionist that answers your phone, we would recommend that you would let anybody know who is going to be answering this call that you're expecting an automated phone call with a verification code. And that way they know to write that code down and bring it to you so that you can provide it back to the system and complete your signature verification. Once all of your contact information has been put into the form, at the very bottom you will check that you have read and agreed to the terms and conditions and click Submit. This will bring you to the credit card payment page. Here you will put the credit card number and expiry date for payment for your signature verification subscription, and then you will authorize the transaction. Once payment has gone through, you will be shown an on-screen receipt. This will also get sent to the email address that you've provided, so you can print this copy out or you can just use the email that we've sent as your records. When you move through the receipt, the next step will be your verification codes. We will then send an email and a phone verification where you will get some random codes that you will need to put into the fields and click Submit. These codes are sent instantaneously, so you shouldn't have to wait long, but if you are waiting for a little bit of time and you're not receiving the phone call or the email address, just confirm that you've put the information in accurately for us to contact you. Under the email verification section, we have this email address that you've provided here. Just confirm that that is accurate. And in the phone, we also have the phone number listed in the description so that you can make sure that you've provided the correct phone number. If either of these or both of them are incorrect, you can use the first click here button at the bottom of the page in order to modify that information. If they are correct, you can use the second click here and that will resend your verification codes. If you're not receiving your email code, we do recommend that you check your junk and your spam folders just to make sure that they haven't been filtered out by your email system. Once you have both of your codes and you've submitted them, you will then be provided with your signature verification key. This key is unique to your account and you will need it again when you go to renew your subscription once it expires. So you will have purchased a subscription for either 2 months or 1 year, and for the duration of that time, you will be able to submit as many bonds as is necessary on any of our online bidding systems. And then once that does expire, you will be able to just provide us with this key again, and then we can renew your subscription for a new 2 months or 1 year duration. Once you have gone through the signature verification process and clicked Finish, you will be brought directly into the online submission system. So you will agree to the terms and conditions, check the box and click Accept, and then this will bring you directly into the bonding process. The first step when you come into the bonding system for the first time will be to request your power of attorney to be approved by the sureties that you hold power of attorney for. Down the left-hand side of the page at the top, you will see all of the sureties that we currently have within this online bidding system. And so you will go through the list and check any that you hold power of attorney for, and then you will click Email Sureties at the bottom. This will put a little note beside each of them that you've selected as being pending, and an email will go to the primary contact within each of these surety organizations with your contact information that you have just verified, and they will be able to come in and either approve or reject your request for power of attorney. Once you have been approved, you will see a little approved designation after the surety that you have been approved for, and then you will be able to generate and issue bonds on behalf of that surety organization. So the first time that you do come into the system, we do recommend that you do it as soon as possible once you've received a bonding request, because you are relying on your surety approving your power of attorney before you're able to actually issue this bond. Once you have your power of attorney approved, we do also recommend that you purchase transactions right away so that you can have those out of the way and it doesn't hold up your issuing of bonds in the future. Every bond that you issue does require one transaction. So on the right-hand side of the page at the top, you can see that I currently have 67 transactions available to me. But the first time that you come in, you will not have any transactions, and so you will need to purchase some. You click on the Purchase Transactions button and it will bring you into this page where you can choose how many transactions you would like to buy. You just choose the number and then Checkout, and that will bring you to a credit card payment where you're able to pay for your transactions, and then it will just slowly deduct one per issuing of a bond every time you do that. You also have the option to share your transactions with other people within your firm. So if you purchase 100 transactions, you can then search for email addresses that are within your firm to share your transactions with your colleagues, and then you don't need to have everybody in your office buying transactions. one person can buy them, and then you can just share them amongst your team. So once you have been approved for your power of attorney requests and you have transactions purchased and ready, then you can scroll down the page and view the bonding requirements and the application. So this bond has already been generated, so all of these fields are filled in already, but the first time you come in, these bond requirements will all be blank, and this is where you will type in the information for this particular bond. Just below that, we have all of the information from the original application form that the contractor submitted to you. So here we have the closing date and time, who they're bidding to, the bid bond amount, and so on. All of the fields that we saw in the application at the beginning of this video are viewable here at the bottom of the form within the bonding system. All of the yellow fields here for you are editable, and so if you find that the information that the bidder has provided to you is incorrect, or perhaps there's a spelling mistake or some slight mistake in their information, you do have the ability to come in and modify this information and then just click Update Bond Information, and that will save these changes that you've made. If there's information that you need filled in that is not one of the editable fields, you will need to contact that bidder and have them reissue the application to you with the correct information. Once you're happy with all of the information in the application form, you can go back up to the top into the bonding requirements and fill in all of these fields with the appropriate information. The surety is a drop-down menu that will list all of the sureties that have approved your request for power of attorney. And in this case, I just have one for a test surety, so that is the surety that we will use for generating the bond today. Once you have all of these fields filled out, click Create and Sign the bond, and it just confirms that you would like to create it with the surety that you've chosen. When you click OK, it will generate that bond and tell you that it was successfully generated. We can now view the bond at the bottom. We can see here it is a CCDC bond and it is unsealed. So we will view it. And here we can see the bond with my signature. So now we can seal this bond. Again, it confirms the surety that I would like to use. Now it says it was successfully sealed, and now we have a fully executed bond from our perspective. We can view it again. And here's my signature and my seal, and the consent of surety at the bottom again with my signature and my seal. So once we're happy with this bond, we have created it, signed it, and sealed it, we can then issue that bond back to the contractor, and this will send an email to the person who is now going to be signing the bond on behalf of the submitting firm. So we can log off of here and come back to our emails. And now, as the broker, we can see we have an email saying that the bond has been issued. So you get an email confirmation back saying that you have successfully issued the bond to the contractor. And then a copy will go to you once it has been signed by the signatory. So here we have a bond issued email for the signatory. They will click the link and again go through the signature verification process that you did as well, because they will also be putting a digital signature on this document. They can view the entire bonding application that was originally sent, and if they're unhappy with this at all, or if they would like a new bond generated, they can resubmit that application to you. They also have the ability to sign the bond at the very top of this page, and then once their signature is placed on the bond, it will be considered fully executed, and you and the surety will receive a copy of that bond via email. So we can now view this bond. We can see at the top we have the logo of the surety company that is issuing this bond. So in this case it was a test surety, so our company logo is at the top. At the bottom we have the signature of the authorized signatory of the bidding firm. We have the signature of the broker, and we have the seal. And then on the left-hand side, since it's now fully executed, we have the signature verification by the Infinite Source System on the bottom saying that this is a certified document. And the same on the consent of surety, we have the signature of the broker and the seal. So this bond is now ready to be applied to the online submission by this bidder, and then they will be able to submit to the owner that they are bidding to. So now that this bond is fully executed, as the broker, you will receive one last email notifying you that the bond has been signed, and now it is an attachment within this email with all of the signatures and the seals. And a copy of this bond will also go to the surety who you were applying for this bond on behalf of.